Hi and welcome to Aquatic Mike. Today I'm bringing you a video of a trip that I made in 2025 to Aquahaus-gaus. Up here first we're in their Plecos section or part of the store. It's an empty tank there and some Pseudocanthicus earlier. Another empty tank. There's an L24 Pseudocanthicus pitaranga. And this is a golden nugget. L177 or Bargancistrus xanthellus. Ancistrus and red ancistrus. It's another L24 Pseudocanthicus pitaranga. There's Panaculus macus, Panaculus albivermis L204. And not sure, can't really tell now, but Oligancistrus saunoni they might have been. There's some woodcats in this tank, quite hard to spot with the tannins in the water. Some more Plecos. Pseudoancistrus gensi tiger. More Plecos and some Malavis in the background. Some Ancistrus was down there. Pseudocanthicus azurino riosingu up there. Some red Ancistrus. Some Anatoma elena snails and some yellow ancistrus. Possibly a Panaculus macus, I think. They stated that these were LDA 16, although they were more red in my opinions. Parancistrus nodriventris in that tank. It's a large Hypostomus luteus, so phase 2. Bargancistrus L142 and the others were Hypancistrus Queen Arabesque, but you could hardly tell there on the footage. There's more woodcats in attack, intermedia. 163 and 471 in that tank. In this tank we've got Ancistrus ranunculus or L34 and then some Barry Ancistrus, I think. Don't remember which species. Possibly something from Geophagus. Some king tiger in there or Hypancistrus L66. And there's some Panaculus tank-A or L 398, I believe. and a bunch of Malaysian trumpet snails. Back to the king tigers. There's some L445 or Scheitostoma species in there. And there's some Panoculus Claustifer or L306, I believe. L106 and L128 Blue Phantom. L204 and L104, I think. And there's some L129 Hypancystus deblitrea. Some Hypancystus soniae in this tank. A bunch of Otocinclus in this tank. More Otocinclus. More. Some Charasin and big tetras. Some Dovinkinsia and L190 Plecos. Mascara barbs, I believe, up there. Oh, I meant L95. These are probably L95. That's another Pseudoacanthicus Pitaganga. And some Nigerolineatus L190 Plecos. Some half-beaks or possibly Stenolucius hyeta. Some betta fish, or quite a few. Both veiltails and plakat and Dumbo and different varieties. Plenty of bettas. And some heroes. In Sweden we call them hunted cichlids. Some angelfish. Also some Pseudoacanthicus pitaganga. Some waro fish or cichlids. More Characins or tetras. Congo tetras, I believe. L90 and L191, some Panac species. Golden nugget or Barancystus antillus. Sunshine Pleco or Scobiancystus auratus. L273 and some Congo or variety of Congo tetras, I believe. This might have been Chalceus erythrinus. Panach is also in the tank. There's a 273 red Titanic Pleco. More betas. We call those copper tetra in Sweden. I don't recall the scientific name. Bunch of heros. Severus or Severum, I think. Cichlid in Swedish. In quite a few of them tanks. More betas. Plenty of betas. Some Pelvicachromis species. Taniente, I think. And some cichlid of that. More ancestors. Oh, blue acara or aquidens something, I think. Granicicla compressiceps. More acaras. Ancestors. Geophagus ramirezi or butterfly cichlid or ram, I believe they're called in English as a common name rather than butterfly cichlid. They're called fjärilcichlid in Swedish, which would be directly translated would be butterfly cichlid. More of those tetras. And those are mantel tetra in Swedish. They start with a G, the scientific name. Those were red phantom tetras. These are Hyphesobrycon peruensis, I believe, or the red and blue Peru tetra. Glow light tetras, and these are cardinal fish or Tanishtis albunibus. Lemon tetra. Hyphesobrycon, what we call the rosen tetra in Swedish. And those were some Danius, blow giant Danius, I think. Those are Nematobrycon palmeri. And these were Freshwater. That's a small fahaka. Huh. Tetraodon Corydoras or something. Maybe it wasn't a fahaka. It was a tetraodon species nonetheless. There's more Nematobricon palmeri. Riotetras. Nematobricon palmeri. Some Aphocyriax, possibly Ratabuni species. Some Embetetras maybe. Or Bolivian orange, I think. Empty. More tetras. And so a bunch of angelfish and some tetras and some Corydoradine. There were several species in this tank, I believe. Possibly, well, they're all lineage 8, the 3 of them there. They looked similar to Agassiz, but maybe they were the other one. What's the name? There's L200s in this. Green Phantom, Bagancistrus dermatoides, it looked like this. Not the smaller one, Pelvicachromis species. And Bolivian rams. And some more ancestors. Gold tetras. Carry tetras. That's the Telespirus, a bit newer tetra, although they're a bunch of years old now since they entered the trade. Bleeding heart tetra. It looks similar to the Hastatus Cory, but they were a Fesobricon tetra. More tetras. And super blue Gary tetra. My type of fish. Loricaria something. Don't know the species. Pseudohemiron apitanos. And some Pristella tetras in there too, I think. That's another Pseudohemiron apitanos. A few, one to the left there too. Hyphesobricon robertsi. Something Gooby like and an L168. More tetras. I don't recall what those were, whether if they were the red cherry bunch of possibly Yamapensis tetras. So Fesobrick on something. These are Mohencausia costae. Some Indian glass catfish and some tetra species. Norman's lamp eyes. Diamond tetras in Swedish, or I think brilliant tetras might be the English word for them. More tetras, don't recall the species. And some albino ones. Amber tetras. Hyphusburicon amandea, Nanostomus, Amaya. Really nice, that one. The lineage 8 Corydoras might have been Ambiacus earlier. Axelrodia raci tetras in this one. More tetras, those we call something in Swedish vinkeltetra, but Nanostomus before in that tank. Not a lot left. Some empty tanks. Hyphusburicon elixae, sometimes found in the nature along with Gastroramus astatus and some Danios in that tank. More tetras, possibly some Apochirac species. Some Dario in this tank, Black Tiger. It's a nice male there. More of those Dario Black Tigers. Mohencausia tetras, not sure which species. Some really small Rasboras. Bogaras nevus possibly, or the strawberry Rasbora. Some shrimp in this tank. So Plecos. And there's some bodies in this tank also. Bunch of Neocaridina shrimp in the tank behind it that one could see through the glass. These are Rasboras or Trigonostigma hengeli. Ancestors and clown gillies. I don't recall which of them they were, but Epiplotus annulatus, I think. Raspora sp or Trigonostigma. Boraras micros, this one. And those are CPDs or Microraspora ginatus or something like that. Some Dario. Black Phantom Tetras. More Rasboras, Trigonostigma, Hengeli, and more Dario. Pelvicachromis tenuatus molive. Same fish in the tank. Leftover tetra. And some guardians. Garra flavatra or pandagara. Super red Pelvicachromis pulcher. Pistogramma Hongslar red. Pistogramma Agassiz double red. Pistogramma, not sure, possibly Banshee, if I'm not mistaken. Pistogramma Panduro. Quite a few males, but also some females. And some Ivanacara ducata. And loach in the background and some Apistogramma McMastery in the tank. Some Apistogramma Space Red Point and also another Apistogramma, possibly Apistogramma Vieta. I think they listed the other set as rather. Pistogramma D24. Ivanacara ducata, and there's a colored up male there. And some Pistogramma Borelli and some Pistogramma golden red. I'm not sure, I thought they didn't really look like Borelli to me, but that's what they listed them as. And these are Cacatoides, double red, and a really nice Pelvicachromis female. Not sure the variant. And these were also listed as Borelli. Some of them may have been there, but and some Apistogramma Megaloptera in there, and also some Agassiz SP Alenker blue body and red tail. Look very similar to Blue Flame, or maybe different names for the same variant. There's some of those Megaloptera. And here's some Pistogramma Niacini. Here's some Ryoma Mor Apistus. And some nice Pelvicachromis Teniente Lube. Teniente Kienki. Teniente Dehan. So female flirting with the male in the background. And some Pelvicachromis Teniente Nigerian red. And some Nigerian green. Pentecluegli. And Pelvicachromis caribensis bipindi. There's Nanochromis transvestitus in the background. And this may be Ataya gaboensis or Gabon shrimp, I'm not sure. Some large shrimp. And then there's Caridinia multidentata or Amano shrimp. And these are some bamboo shrimps. The ones with the fan hands, I don't recall their name, Ataya molucensis possibly or something like that. And some Gastrodermus napoensis and some Gastrodermus pygmaeus. And some Ostiogaster schultzi var black. Some Ostiogaster aenea and Geophagus sveni. Some Brochis. I don't want to say for certain what these were, but possibly Geophagus in the way. There's possibly one Leucomelias at the front, and no, maybe not. They might have been all Brochis in there. And they may have been Brochis delpax. And Geophagus altifrons. And down there's Geophagus sveni, Rio Parana. And here's some more Geophagus. Geophagus niambi, Rio Tocantins. And some Ostiogaster aenea. And some Geophagus altimira, Rio Singu. And down there some Hoplysoma paletum. And some Actarytus haeckelii and some other Geophagus. And here's Geophagus pyrocephalus, as they were called previously. I think they've changed name now. Can't remember to what though. Some more Geophagus. And there's some Geophagus sp. caceta and some Achytarystis haeckelii and one paletum. Geophagus sveni, Rio Parana. Biotodoma vavrini. And some Ostiogaster aenea and Gibiceps. And one Ancestors. And more haeckelii albino this time. Some more Geophagus sveni, Rio Parana. And here's some Meleus. I think that's Brochis leopardus. Leopardus is often mixed up with C102, but I think those were leopardus. Then there's Geophagus brasiliensis, and there was also a Heros severum. There's more Geophagus brasiliensis and Brochis agassici, I believe. They were listed as punctatus, but very far from punctatus, the real one. I believe agassici. And a small Gibiceps. And some CW127, the one that they call Super Parallelus nowadays. And a small Gibiceps. And some more Meleus. I think those are called blackberry, like Milius lamma or something like that. And there's some Milius schomburgkini and some Hoplysoma CW28 or the so-called super Schwarzii. And some Leporinus affinis down there, along with some Osteogaster and some Hoplysoma sturbi albino. More Milius, something tiger or something. And here's some Hoplysoma duplicareum. Now there's some people talking to me while I'm filming. They're saying that we're about to head to a different place. So I'm going to film slightly quicker towards the end here. And there's some Hoplysoma sturbi. And there's some Congo tetras. Very large. And some Metinis. And some Hoplysoma axelrodi in the background. More Congo tetras. And Hoplysoma sturbi. And there's some more Congo tetras and some loaches. Down there some Hoplysoma panda. And here's some tetras, I think, and some Osteogaster CW9 or 10s. It was kind of hard to tell now in the tank what they were, but there's some Laticara dosigera. And some Osteogaster CW10s down there. Some Osteogaster venezolanus down there. Some Osteogaster ainea albino variant. Some Osteogaster melanotenia down there. And some Cytopharynx SP green flash. And some more Hoplysoma panda down there. Very, or not as clear water down there though. And some species that I could not pronounce from Africa somewhere. Ultralamprologus compressiceps gold say. And here's some Hoplysoma trilineatum. And some Hoplysoma CW45 Lexex. Nowadays they're called Colossus. At least a few of them. I'm not sure whether there's a brochy species mixed in, but Colossum, the majority of them at least. And some Hoplysoma schwarzia. And then there's some Brochis reticulatum. And here's some Hoplysoma CW28 or super Schwarzi. And here's some what I believe to have been possibly two species, but Crypticus or Amandagena, and there was some Osteogaster ainea. Osteogaster CW9 green laser, I meant. There was some Steatocronis casuris. And there's some Xenotilapia flavipinnis. And now I'm in a rush. We're leaving this place quite soon. Some Synodontis catfish. And here's a display tank that they had that I found some Gastroderma species that I were a bit interested in. I think they may have been C89. They had no clue what they were though. And they were slightly hard to catch on the footage, but they're in there. There you can see them. I had C89 already though. Here's one of the display tanks, or a few, with Malawi cichlids. Thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe, share and comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.